All right, everybody, we are here with the Friday Review, my favorite way to end cap the week. As always, I have a product review for you here today. I've got a book review, one that I said I didn't think I was going to review, but I did it anyway, because after re-reviewing this book, it is one worth sharing. Plus, I have 2 new research studies that you will want to know about, either for you or your loved ones. Trust me, someone will find that information helpful in your life. And of course, before we get into all of that, we're going to go over a quick review from the week. Did you miss any of these shows? Kicking off with our Monday show, which is probably one of the most important topics I've ever covered: why moderation is a complete lie that we've been sold, and what to look for instead in your life, especially if you're trying to achieve bigger and better things in your life. Tuesday's show is all about chronic inflammatory response syndrome, how 22% of the population, basically like 1 out of 4, right, deal with this on a daily basis or at some point in their life, how to overcome it. On Wednesday's show, we went over the top 4 foods and supplements to lower hemoglobin A1C and to better control your blood sugar levels. And then yesterday's show was the Lyon heart study. You won't want to miss this one. Really important. Honestly, simplest way to reduce your chance of a heart attack or heart disease at some point in your life by about 50 to 70%. 50% essentially minimum, 70% I don't want to say maximum, because that's pretty unbelievable, but reduce it by about 70%. Nothing crazy, but you just need to know the steps, and also you need to then be able to drown out all the noise that we hear on social media. All right, so let's dive right into it. What is our product review of the week? Product review of the week are 2 things that I've reviewed in the past: the Oura Ring and the continuous glucose monitor called the Stelo. Now, why am I bringing it back? I've already reviewed these products because the 2 companies have teamed up. This ring right here, if you're watching this on video, and this continuous glucose monitor called the Dexcom 7. This is the G7, but again, they'll have a G8 next year, a G9 next year after that. So anyway, these 2 companies have teamed up. Why does that matter? Because I'm not sponsored by either one of these companies. I have no affiliation, but the Oura Ring, again, there's an upfront charge, but then it's like $4.99 a month, and it's the best sleep tracker out there. Is it the best activity tracker? No, it is not. And that's why I'm wearing an Apple Watch on airplane mode. Now, at the same time, you don't have to wear an Apple Watch. I totally respect that. I understand there can be some levels of radiation, etc. I turn off my Bluetooth. I turn off my airplane mode. I don't get text messages on it, anything like that. But it allows me to track my daily calories, active calories, how many times I'm standing per hour, really important to me, and then also my exercise minutes. So I am keeping that at the forefront of my mind. But that's not today's show. The Oura Ring is without a doubt the best sleep tracker, and it's getting really great at tracking stress as well throughout the day. Well, they've teamed up with Stelo. I talked about Stelo maybe about 6, 8 months ago, somewhere around there, and they totally just decimated the continuous glucose monitor market. And that is because they're getting it to you now at half price of everyone else. How are they doing that? There is no middleman anymore. They are literally, I don't know if this is a good thing truthfully, they're cutting out the practitioners and they're going direct to consumer. So now for about $50 every 2 weeks, $100 a month or so, and again, the prices may change, you can get access to checking your blood sugar. So I have a whole show on that. I'm going to link it up. I also have a show on the Oura Ring. I'm going to link that up, but that's not today's show. Today's show is, if you wear a Stelo continuous glucose monitor, you can now track it on your Oura Ring, and it will give you insights as to what meals may even be causing different stressors in your body and how it might be affecting your sleep. This is just the beginning, by the way. So you're at the very forefront if you're checking out these things. It's just the beginning. It's going to get better and better. A year from now, it'll be so much better in terms of insights, but not a bad place to start. I have my brand new Stelo right here. I paid for it myself. I will be using this once I get to Maine in just a couple weeks from now. I kind of kick off my summer, and I will absolutely be tracking that once again. So excited about that partnership because it's 2 companies that I use and that I love using and promoting. Who do I promote? The best of the best in the industry. I promote the best labs. I promote the best products, the best foods, the best health tech. And so that's what I wanted to share with you, and that will never change. All right. So that is my product review of the week. If you haven't yet, maybe invested in something like this, you might want to think about it. I truly believe that the Oura Ring allows you to track your sleep the best out of Apple Watch and Whoop, and the best out of, what else have I used before? Withings watches, and again, all sorts of different things. I've used the Garmin, I've used them all, BioStrap, you name it. And what I can tell you is that for me, best tracking, most honest on your deep sleep and REM sleep. Okay, not the best activity tracker, I will say that, but again, it integrates with your Apple Watch, and so it takes your Apple Watch data, which is a very good activity tracker. And same with the Garmin. All right, actually, people have been asking why I'm wearing these new blue blockers. Well, I'm wearing them for anywhere from a 2 to 4 week experiment. So I just want to give you a little interjection here because that's why I love being able to do the Friday review. It's an eclectic show, talk about all the things in how I try to live a healthier life and share that with my clients and in my practice with Equal Life as well. So over the last 6 months, I've done a tremendous amount of time, energy, research on the computer, on a laptop, because I was finishing writing the most advanced certification, IHP level 3, for advanced lab testing, mycotoxins testing, toxic heavy metals, going over neurotransmitters, menopause and fertility testing, just, environmental toxicity testing, very, very advanced work, and just backing all of it up with PubMed studies and deep, deep science and writing. Again, just writing each of the modules is hundreds of slides. And I probably spent an extra 2 to 3 hours a day of screen time. So I am finishing up this month, but my eyes have taken the toll. I have to be honest with you. They've taken the toll. I've really gotten back to using my daily vision and eye support. I think that's helped because it provides great antioxidants, but staring at a computer screen, it just does a number. And for the very first time in my life, every time I'm now away from the computer, I'm actually having just noticeable difference in reading. Like it's just a little fuzzier. And I don't want that to be the case. I'm in my later 40s, but that doesn't mean that I want to start getting glasses. It's fine if I do. I'm okay with it. Nothing wrong with that. But I look at it as, what have I been doing different? What's changing? How are my eyes aging, or how are they strained 2 to 3 extra hours a day? So over the next month, I will be done with that certification, and I loved every second of it, but I'll have then less eye strain time on the computer, and I'll then probably not wear these as often. So I wear these lightweight ones always an hour before bed. That's my minimum. These are the ones that we created over at Equal Life. I love the orange lenses because they take out even more of that blue light before bed. But these are the ones which are much larger. I think my daughter calls them, actually she said she likes them, but they're like nerd glasses, and they're big and they block out everything. So anyway, that's why I'm wearing them. And since I'm okay with however they look, I wanted to share that with you. Again, all my favorite resources are always at stephencabral.com/resources. That includes the Stelo and these blue blockers and much, much more. So just wanted to share that with you. All right. This is the book that I said I wasn't going to review, because I reviewed another one of Robin Sharma's books just a week or two ago. And so what do I hope to do? I always want to bring you new and different looks, and I want to share with you different ideas. And so that's always my goal. Everyday Hero is what I shared with you on, let's see, that was 5/9, so not too long ago, but a month ago. So during that time, I talked about the monk who Ferrari. That was one of his other books. I talked about the 5 a.m. Club, but I said, you know what? Let me re-review the 5 a.m. Club. And so when I looked at it, I said, this is a book that it's motivational, but it's structural. So I like motivation. Motivation is amazing. But if you're going to invest in reading a 250 to 300 page book, which I believe this is, and I reread it 285, I want you to get something actionable out of it. So even if you don't read the books that I review on Fridays, I want to give you the meat from it. So 5 a.m. Club, what does it basically mean? It means wake up at 5 a.m. before the rest of the world and get an hour or maybe hour and a half done of the work that's going to move you forward in life. And I've always believed this. I've really always believed this. Did I make it up myself? No. But as a, I have amazing parents, but they weren't like, hey, here's $1 million, just go enjoy life. Like, that's just not how it worked for me. And it's probably not how it worked for you. And honestly, that's the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't think that you want that. I think that you want to, at least again, this is my opinion, you want to struggle a bit. You want to have to figure out how to make life work. Anyway, waking up early was always the game changer as to then how to work on myself before I went to, and I worked 2 jobs for many years. And so like, how do you do that? Well, you need to wake up a little bit earlier. Now, of course, it's detrimental if you're trying to heal your body, and I get that. I don't think 5 a.m. is the right time for everyone, but all it means is wake up an hour before you need to start your normal routine. That's essentially all that it means. So I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. And that's what I did. So it doesn't have to be 5 a.m. All right, but it means getting a little time back to yourself. Now, 3 pages that I'd like you to read. If not, I'm going to go over them with you. Page 88, the 3-step success formula. I'm going to turn this into a podcast and go deeper, even if you don't read the book. But the first part is this. It is the learning and growing stage, and it's better awareness. Talk about it all the time. You need to become more self-aware of just what's going on in your life. Like, are you even putting in the time? If you're not putting in the time in order to improve your life, well, you just have to become more self-aware of that, right? Okay. Part number 2, implementation and execution. So basically, when you become more self-aware, so you think about your relationship, let's say with your partner, your spouse, and you say, we're always getting into arguments. And so then you say, well, I can't change that individual. Let me see what I might be able to change. And you say, okay, we had another argument. What preceded that argument? It was me doing X, Y, and Z that they didn't like. Now, maybe you feel that you're not in the wrong, but either way, it's something that they don't like. Is it possible for you to change that? At least to take the first step. So again, like, that's making that change. And you can think about it in any part of your life, right? So like with clients in our body transformation studio back in the late 90s, early 2000s, we would weigh clients always on Mondays and Fridays. I understand not everybody likes to weigh themselves. I get it. I totally understand. But we'd weigh them on Mondays and they would come in at, let's just say, 182 pounds. And then on Friday, they'd be 179 pounds. Great. You lost 3 pounds in 5 days. That's amazing. And then we weigh them on the next Monday and they weighed 182 pounds again. And you're like, oh, you're losing the weight Monday through Friday with your nutrition exercise, and you're gaining it all back every single weekend. That's self-awareness. And then what's the next change? Instead of having a 72-hour cheat or 60-something hour cheat from Friday night through Sunday night, we said you get 1 flex meal. And that can be a game changer. Right? So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And then step number 3 is this: better results, right? So that's basically how it works. Become more self-aware. Something needs to change, because without change, there is no change. Okay. So then we execute some action to see if there's change or not. Did it work? No. Try something different. Did it work? A little bit. Great. Do more of that. Did that work? Yes. Now we get the better results we want. So that was longer than I thought but that's page 88. And I want to turn that into a whole show because it's game changing. It's game changing. Okay. On page 206, the 20-20-20 formula. I'm not going to go in depth on this. Basically, if you get 1 hour to yourself before you have to start the rest of your day, break that into 3 20-minute sections or 2 30-minute sections. The minimum amount of time to really do anything is 20 minutes. So 20 minutes might be meal prep, right? If you're trying to lose weight. 20 minutes might be studying your IHP material if you're trying to get certified for level 1 within 12 weeks, right? So like, you're just going through the things. 20 minutes might be exercise. It might be going for a walk. It might be doing whatever it is that you need to do to move forward. I usually say 30-30 because most important things take about 30 minutes, right? So like, I always say 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 2.5 hours a week total. You become IHP. You can become a certified health coach with the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute in 12 weeks. Like, that's a worthwhile goal. 12, it's so much. You have to get through 100 hours, all this different material. Sure, I get it. It's a half hour a day. That's it, right? And then take the weekends off. So again, like, it can be done. And then a half hour workout, right? 20 minutes is great, but you need 5 minutes to get into it. And then you really need 30 minutes. So he says 20-20-20 formula. I appreciate that. I think it's great. 230s, probably better for most people. All right, that's page 206. And the last one I wanted to give you, it's not the last thing. He goes over the amazing day deconstruction, he calls it. I reread this. Again, I read this book a long time ago. I really didn't think I went through it like in depth. I did. Again, that's why you reread books sometimes, so you get more of that information back. And so what I went through is, when I looked at this, I was just looking like when this book first came out. His day looks, it's not the same as mine, but it's uncannily close. It really is. And when I interview other individuals, I say like, what's your day look like? Or I like just asking people in general. I like chatting with people. If we go to dinner or we're at an event, I always ask that. And it's so close. Like it's doing, it's your own time in the morning, then your family, especially if your family's at home, then your most important work in the morning, really before lunch. Then after that, your not as important work or the thing that doesn't take maybe as much of your analytical based skill. And then after that, there's a transition period. That's my workout. Then it's dinner and family time and all of that. And then it's kind of like your whatever you need to do at the end of the day, and then your bedtime routine. And he outlines the whole thing. I'm like, this is very similar to my routine. So anyway, I would love you to check that out. It's something that I do with every single one of my private clients. Is I call it the ideal day. And we don't get super granular, but we time block everything. And so I definitely recommend checking this out. This is a much longer review than I typically do for a book. 15 million books sold worldwide. Check it out, the 5 a.m. Club. And check it out before I do a new book review in just a couple weeks called 4,000. You want to check this out, 4,000 Weeks. This is by Oliver Berkman. And I think you're going to enjoy that one as well, because if okay, I can get up a little bit earlier, I'm going to do this, this, and this. What can I do with it? All right, the 4,000 Weeks is going to help with that time management. So we'll talk about that. All right, that is our product review and book review for the week. Let's talk about 2 research studies. Straightforward, to the point. The first one is this. This was a study of over 700 adults by researchers at Macquarie University in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, published in The Lancet, very reputable journal. Here's what they said. And I think this is pretty remarkable because it's not intuitive, right? So this is one of the best treatments for lower back pain, and it's free. Okay. But this is the last thing that you're probably thinking about doing if you're in pain. All right, here it is. Among people who had experienced a recent episode of lower back pain, like hurting your back, tweaking your back, think about that, right? What do you think? I need to rest. I need to ice, and then I need to do heat, and I need to do elevation. I need to do all the things. Okay, understood. But walking for about 30 minutes, 5 times a week, 30 minutes in a row, right? So it's not broken up throughout the day. It's 30 minutes all at once. And I'll give you a couple tips in just a second. Reduce the recurrence of another episode over a 1 to 3 year period. It is one of the best treatments they've seen, like regardless of anything else. Walk for 30 minutes a day. Pretty remarkable. And when you look at that, why? Well, it's keeping you more upright. If you're walking properly, you're squeezing your glutes. The glutes, believe it or not, are connected to the core. They support the shelf that your core sits on. And your core technically is part of your glutes, so like your hip flexors and psoas is typically considered part of your core. So as your leg comes backwards, as you're striding, you're stretching the flexors in the front, your hip flexors, your TFL, etc. And your front leg, the glute, the glute's going to be squeezing on the back leg, and then the flexors open. And the reverse happens in the front. So you get stretching, right? And then you get tightening, stretching, tightening, working the muscles. Is it a workout? No, not really, but it's strengthening those muscles. It's keeping you upright. It's strengthening your core. Just walking alone, you're resisting rotation. That's what happens, anti-rotation, when you walk or run, and it's tremendous. So without a doubt, you are going to have yourself or a family member dealing with lower back pain in their lifetime. Get them walking 30 minutes at a clip. All right. Number 2. I wanted to share this with you because sometimes I want to share with you, you're doing the right things. Like you just got to keep consistency is the thing, even though you can't see it. So this was in the Physicians Health Study 2, conducted by Harvard-affiliated researchers. It was done over 14,000 physicians who took a daily multivitamin. Here's what they found. Those physicians that took a daily multivitamin, they had an 8% reduction in overall cancer over more than a decade. So when you look at that, kind of boring, right? You're taking your daily nutritional support, which is a full multi and plant-based protein powder, or you're taking your daily activated multivitamin from, whatever company you choose to. It doesn't have to be Equilife, but it has to be a good methylated multi. And when you look at that, over time, you just start to stack those bricks, right? You take it every day. It's boring. I know. I get it. But there are so many health benefits associated with that. And this one, just adding up, 8% reduction in cancer. Well, I'll take any reduction in cancer that I can get. If it's above 5%, that seems like a worthwhile thing to me, as long as it doesn't cost me a lot of money or cost me a lot of time. Like that's the thing, and that there are no side effects. Great, I'll do that. When you look at walking your 7,500 to 10,000 steps a day, reduction in all-cause mortality, which includes cancer, by somewhere between 23 and 28%. I'll take that. Okay, I'm going to get in my steps every day. So all you're looking to do is just continue to stack those bricks, your foundation, to strengthening your body and overall longevity. So I wanted to share that with you. I love to see it because I'm like, all right, I'm just going to keep doing it, right? It's like one more brick that I'm stacking to my overall health, because there is no silver bullet. But little by little, we can continue to improve our health. Hopefully today's show is helpful. All those show notes and previous shows on the Stelo, on Oura Ring, we'll even call it Everyday Hero. We'll link all that up at stephencabral.com/3409 or 3409. And I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls, answering all of our community's questions. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.